This is Ottawa Now with Evan Solomon on News Talk 580 CFRA.
Welcome back to Ottawa Now. Kevin O'Leary coming up at 5:05. Meantime, all eyes on New York and New Jersey, where Ahmad Khan Rahman, the suspected bombing suspect, has been arrested, shot. He was found sleeping in front of a bar in New Jersey 48 hours after bombs went off in Manhattan and in New Jersey. All eyes have been on there since. Did he act alone? Who was he? We know he went back to Afghanistan. When he was confronted with police, he shot two police officers. Both sustained minor injuries. Donald Trump has just commented on this. So has Hillary Clinton. So has Barack Obama. This has been called an act of terror by the mayor. What do you have to do to be vigilant? One of the extraordinary things is that this man was caught so quickly. How did that happen? What should the public do to stay aware? Let's find out. Joining me now, Dave McCormack, former superintendent of the Toronto Police, now an analyst with Investigative Solutions Network, Inc. Dave, great to have you on the program.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
We're trying to obviously get to the bottom of this pressure cooker bombing in New York, another attempted bombing in New Jersey. And then, of course, now the suspect has been arrested after a shootout, alive. We understand he'd been to Afghanistan. The authorities went to the public quickly. Talk about the vigilance that the public may have to have in these kind of situations.
Well, I think it's great, first off, that the authorities did go to the public, because the public certainly has an awful lot to offer. And in a city like New York and in parts of New Jersey and certainly in Ottawa and Toronto, the public and the commercial enterprises have more security cameras in place today than ever before. And I think it's time critical that they come forward with that information, capture that digital evidence before it is lost. And the public needs to know, and they have a right to know what's going on. The longer the authorities stay quiet, the more the public starts to wonder, really, what is at play and are we safe and secure? But public vigilance is number one. And the first thing that the police are going to want is that if you see something, then say something. But you need to know what it is that you've seen. So things that the public should be looking for, and our commercial partners out there should be looking for, are things that strike them as unusual type behavior. So if you see people there taking photographs of critical infrastructure, government buildings, power plants, bridges, hotels, stadiums, our transit, things that seem to be above and beyond what a normal tourist would take. Somebody who's making repeat visits to these places but not seeming to go in, not seeming to do anything, not there for a purpose that we would expect most people to be there for. People that are improperly dressed for the weather. They're wearing heavy coats, long coats in weather where it's 25, 30 degrees Celsius with a humidity factor where something is just not quite right here. People that come with a package, place the package and leave is obviously something that's concerning. Anything that is suspicious, a package that seems to have any wires or something coming out of it, something that may be oozing out from below it, those types of things, and sort of recognize the difference, if they can, between a suspicious package and an unattended parcel. The police do get an awful lot of calls for unattended parcels under the guise of suspicious packages, when really they turn out to be somebody has put down their backpack while they had their lunch and then they rode off on their bicycle and forgot it. Every bit as important that we look into it, but when the people call the police or if they report it to the security in their commercial building, tell them exactly what it is that you see. Do not touch the package. See something, say something, Evan. That's crucial. And there's a lot of times that the person who is going to commit this type of a crime has told somebody. We refer to it as leakage. And in over 65% of the cases, there has been some leakage, whether through social media, whether the person has gone off on rants or tirades or a noted change in their personality. Those types of things, report it at that point in time. Don't think that somebody else is going to report it on your behalf. Take the initiative, report it. The police should never chastise you for making that report. If it turns out to be nothing, well, then it's a great day for everybody. If it turns out to be something, well, then the police and the proper authorities have had the opportunity to cordon off the area, move potential victims out of the way, deal with whatever it is that turns out to be, and always be aware of your surroundings at any time, even for simple crimes like pickpocketing and robbery, which is obviously a personal invasion. Just be aware of what's going on around you. And if you can, capture something on cell phone. If you think it's important, take a photograph and then pass that on when you do call.
I was speaking to Dave McCormack, former superintendent of the Toronto Police, about vigilance. And this has been a particularly interesting case because the suspect here, Ahmad Khan Rahami, was actually found by the owner of a bar in New Jersey, in Linden, New Jersey. And he said he saw the guy sleeping in the doorway of his bar, and he contacted police. there it is. There's vigilance that paid off. And then there was a confrontation, obviously, and a shootout, and they got the guy. But it was literally a guy who spotted him.
Absolutely, and that's great. That's what we like to see happen. And obviously, don't engage this person. If you think of something strange, don't engage that person yourself, because who knows what he or she is capable of. So that gentleman absolutely did the right thing, 100%. Call the police, let the police come and deal with the situation. They are the trained personnel. They are the people that we pay to do that on our behalf.
And I should say, Dave, you're absolutely right, because when the police confronted Rahami, there was a shootout, and in fact, 2 officers were hit. One of the officers was struck in the bulletproof vest, and the other was shot in the hand. So even officers, highly trained, bulletproof vests, that's how dangerous the situation could have been. Imagine if someone else confronted this guy. Absolutely. There could have been another victim who wasn't wearing some protective armor, who didn't know how to deal with or could re-engage with that suspect when he opened fire on them. You know, Dave, the other thing is, this guy had a backpack and then the pressure cooker. It leads you to believe, gosh, how easy is it for someone to build an explosive device? Well, unfortunately, it's becoming more and more easy all the time. And the recipes for doing so are on the Internet. We've certainly seen that time and time again. And we're seeing people that have this motivation, that are looking for ways to go and about and do this. And they can buy a lot of the materials that they need either through the Internet or just out commonplace in the market. It doesn't take a whole lot to build one of these devices. Yeah, surveillance video had shown this guy near the site of the explosion in Chelsea. So those cameras, very important in terms of apprehending this person. And now we're trying to find more. This guy was back. He was born in Afghanistan and had traveled back there multiple times in the last few years. But then the question is, Dave, we don't know more than that, right? Was this guy connected to any other group? We just don't know yet. No, we don't know yet. And there's certainly going to be a long and intensive investigation going on by the authorities in New York and certainly within the United States. They will reach out to corresponding international partners, intelligence agencies, to find out what it is that we do know about this person. Is he a lone wolf? Is he inspired? Or is he actually a member of a cell? And these are things that are going to take an awful long time to come out. Yeah, and we don't know what he is, but if he is the guy, whatever he is, he's not on the side of angels here, I'll tell you that much. Dave McCormack, former superintendent of the Toronto Police, now analyst with Investigative Solutions Network, Inc., giving us a perspective. See something, say something is the saying. Dave, a pleasure to have you on the program, sir. No, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, there you go. That's the latest on that issue, and we're going to follow that very closely. Donald Trump has already just commented on that.
Now back to Ottawa Now with Evan Solomon on News Talk 580 CFRA.